Yay, so we are now recording. So today's Cuppa and a catch up is with my lovely friend Craig. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
So working remotely, I know you do it anyway, but what are you doing? Because you're a really happy, motivated person, but what are you doing to keep yourself and your teams? Because you manage teams, so that's key for me.
Yeah, I think for me, so I mean, first of all, I normally work from home a couple of days a week anyway, but last couple of weeks it's kind of transformed into every single day. And I think that the most important thing is to really start your day with a purpose and with a plan. I generally find that when I don't do that, I tend to drift from one thing to another, back to the to-do list, do a little bit, go back to do something else. And for me, it's about being able to get to the end of the day and say, do you know what, I've actually achieved something.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, I'm motivated by achievement. A lot of people are. So as long as I can look back at my working day and say, actually, I still managed to add some value, I still had a purpose, I still managed to deliver this, then generally from a work perspective, that keeps me really motivated. And I think in terms of the people that I'm directly responsible for managing, it's about, well, actually encouraging them to do the same. But one thing that's really important when you're in this position is that you don't make people feel like you don't trust them. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely 100%. But you've worked from home, I've worked from home. So you can keep, like you say, it's having a to-do list so that you don't bounce about. And I find if I'm working, I take these breaks in the house as opposed to in my office room. I find I bounce into the fridge a little bit too soon. So I have to stop that. You're a healthy person and you go running, but it's what's the balance between making your team know that you're there, keeping them motivated without making them think you don't trust them?
I think sometimes it's actually about actually stating that up front and then demonstrating through your behavior, actually not just saying that you trust them, but showing that you trust them. So what I mean by that is it's fine to have check-ins. It's fine to have check-ins at mutually agreed times. But if you are constantly in touch with the people that you are responsible for leading, managing, etc., then that generally develops a sense of, well, does that person believe that I'm getting on with this piece of work, or do they think I'm not doing that task, or do they think I'm off doing something altogether? But I also think it's really important to celebrate the fact that people do take some time away from the tasks that they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, this afternoon, I've just spent the last hour at the gym. And I did that for my mental health, because actually being stuck in the house and not getting out and about and not seeing other people and not looking after your physical health as well will have a detrimental impact on your ability to do well in your job. So for me, it's actually celebrating when people say, oh, I'm going out to do this, I'm going out to do that, and asking them about what they're doing to keep themselves sane, as well as, whether they need any support with tasks, etc., that they're looking to complete.
Oh, and do you know what? I think that's really key as well. Like you say, you say you went out to the gym for an hour. I don't, as you know. I do my exercise at home. But it is these little things. Like, I know sometimes if I go into my office, I can get so sidetracked with doing my work, and I'll be in there from 7:30 in the morning, because that's my commute time, and I'm up and I'm ready, so I go. So I now make it very conscious that in my lunch hour, I take an hour, I take a break, I grab a cuppa, which is why I'm now going to do these, either in the morning on the commute time or a cuppa at lunchtime, to say, what are you doing? Because I want to put these out on social media to just show them as a support for other people that it's okay. We're going to get through this.
Yeah, and I think also it's perfectly fine for you to share with the people that you work with that actually these are unsettling and uncertain times for you as well. I also think that helps to develop trust. So, I'm in this position as well, and this is how I dealt with that situation, and this is where I'm at now. Show a bit of vulnerability, I think, in these times as a leader, so that people follow, I think is really important.
And I think, can I pick up there as well? You show that you don't have to put a suit on every day either, do you, when you're working from home?
Well, I must admit, because I never used to work from home before, when I first started working from home, I almost felt like guilty for doing so. And I had to read loads of articles and things on LinkedIn about why I shouldn't feel guilty about working from home. But I must admit, when I first did it, my first week of working from home, I got out of bed, I had a shower, I put my suit on to work from home, because that made me feel like I was at work. And it was a couple of weeks in where I thought, this actually is ridiculous. You don't actually need to do that. Actually, one of the benefits of working from home is that you can feel comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Other than the fact that that obviously created a lot more washing for you as well. But I think really, if you're working remotely and you've never done this before and you're finding yourself out of kilter, if by putting a suit on, going out of your house, walking around your house, I know people have done this, go out the front door, walk around the house or walk up the road and back again, do whatever, then walk in, then they feel like they've gone to work. And if that's what people have to do, then so be it.
I do think it's really important that if you've got the ability to have somewhere in your house, even if it's not a proper office, if you've got somewhere where you can work from, where you can physically shut the door when you've done and walk away from it, I think that's really important. The times when I've worked from home and I've done that from the living room, maybe on the dining room table with my laptop set up and sort of all my paperwork around me, and you get to the end of the working day and you don't ever walk away from it if it's still there. So it's really important that you set yourself some parameters and say, no, that's the end of my working day now. I'm going to log off. I'm going to shut my door. I'm going to shut the laptop. I'm going to switch my phone off, and everything else can wait until my working day starts again tomorrow, or the next time you have to pick it all up.
And I think the key there is not everybody has a space that they can call their office. Like I can see that you're in your office. I'm not. I'm in my kitchen right now. But I think it is key, like you say, that actually you have everything set out, whether it's on the dining room table or whatever it is. But then when you've agreed that is the end of your day, that is the end of your day, and you put it away. And if you have to go back out of the house, walk around and come back in again, but to have that cut off. Because sometimes I find working from home, we could start earlier, we carry on working through and we work later, and we have to look after ourselves and our health in this situation.
We have, but you've also got to be disciplined as well. So I think sometimes, especially when you're used to doing the usual sort of 9 till 5 kind of shift work, that kind of thing, that you feel like you've got to work for a certain length of time. But you've actually got to be really disciplined and think about actually how productive are you being. So I can, I might personally finish a piece of work in 2 hours that might take a colleague 4 hours to do that. That doesn't mean that I've got to take 4 hours over that piece of work. That's just the way we all work in different ways. And I think it's really important that people think about how productive they want to be and what tasks they want to achieve in a day, rather than thinking, right, I've got to sit at my laptop at 9 o'clock and I've got to sit here till 5 o'clock. That's not how it works when you're trying to work a bit more flexibly from home.
No, it doesn't, does it? Oh, Craig, that's been loads and loads of amazing top tips there. And I don't know which one of your little chaps in the background is barking away there.
That would be Gizmo. He's barking because he's pretending that he can't jump up on the bed. So another top tip is to get your dogs in bed before you join a Zoom call. Yeah.
I'm surprised the landline on my mobile is on silent always, but the landline is off. Oh, but I'm gonna press the stop record button. We can carry on chatting for a bit, but
no worries.
Quite lots of top tips for me to put out there on today's. I need to have this I need a title. Cuppa. It's a Cuppa catch up. I need a new title for it, and I'll put it out.
I'll put some thought into it.